would have been.
Where did you dig up that old fossil?
Going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
That's no move.
We're all fine here now, thank you. How are you?
Welcome to the Star Wars Nerds Podcast. I'm Dan Dadabunker.
And I'm Kenton Larson.
And we're going to talk about a few Star Wars stories, that we saw this week. But first, I wanted to let you know, as somebody who does not subscribe to like ad-supported Netflix, you're not aware of how they roll out their ads, correct?
That is correct. I've never seen it.
So even like, for example, when you pause it, they do not show you an ad on the pause screen.
I don't think I've paused something in a long time. I don't know.
Please check and report back.
Okay, I just watch all the way through. I don't know.
Here's the
Netflix is green.
I've said for a while that the way Netflix is doing it is the right way to do it because they're rolling it out slowly and they only give me one or two ads during an hour-long show. So it'll go like commercial break, and they have a very distinctive like red line that comes down, so it identifies like this is a commercial break. It's one ad, 1 30-second ad, and then we're back into the action. It's actually pretty good. Yesterday I was watching The Last Kingdom, season 4 of The Last Kingdom, which is a very good series on Netflix. I really, really like it, about the history of Britain. And I encountered my very first 2.5-minute commercial break on Netflix. So these are 5 30-second ads back to back to back. And this is more like traditional television. So I guess this was the strategy. I think we were talking about this in class, and a student brought this up, that they're just going to keep, yes, they start with a few ads here and there, but they just keep adding until basically they build up to it like a 3.5-minute commercial break again, which I think isn't great, because I think that's kind of going against what people want, which is less commercials, right?
Can you skip the ads? Have you tried to skip?
No, it's a 2.5-minute commercial. You can get up, you can go to the fridge, get something to eat, you can go to the bathroom, just like TV used to be.
You can't. Can you pause the commercial?
Yes, you can pause the commercials.
But at that point, you cannot drag the cursor any further than where it is.
Your remote. It's all on your little remote on your thing. I mean, there's nothing. It's just like, again, the only platform that lets you skip any ads is YouTube, right? They're the only ones who do that. No one else trusts people. I don't know why, actually. It's a weird thing, but I like the skippable ads. My issue is that they're just trying to, like, what they're doing is they're creating more ad space, which is going to create more annoyance. My problem with advertisers is they never realize how annoying their product is when people just want to get back to the thing they're watching. And I think it's better to have when I see, for example, on Amazon, the new season of Fallout, as I said, I was watching, they have like this, the whole episode is sponsored by this product, and it shows it right at the beginning of the episode, and then you don't see anything else. This is limited ad breaks or whatever, but what it means is there's no other ad breaks because this sponsor is paid for this message. I think that's what we need to go back to, that kind of sponsor messaging, minimal, like the way it was back in the day on old radio when they only had like one thing. Less is more, and by reducing the quantity, they increase the value out of the advertising. So that's kind of what I think should be happening. So Netflix is going in the wrong direction here. Damn it.
Well, first of all, let me point out the obvious here, which is that's not advertisers' problem. That's the media outlet's problem for allowing it to happen. Like, don't allow it to happen. Like when you go to a movie theater, the reason you see 1,000 ads is because that shitty movie theater chain decided that that's what they needed to do. And so, of course, there's a bunch of advertisers lined up to take it. But I've said all along that exactly what you said about Netflix is the same thing for movie theaters, which is just get Ford to sponsor the commercial free. And by the way, we love trailers. We love trailers, movie trailers. Give us 100 movie trailers. Yeah. Like that's a commercial we like when we go to a movie. But don't load it up and don't do commercials with the lights on and then commercials with the lights off, the two-tiered.
Oh yeah. That's the thing. Do people pay less on? Is that a thing?
Yeah, you pay less to be part of the pre-show. And when the lights go down, you pay more because now everybody's paying attention to the screen.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the better way to do it. Now, the advertisers are culpable in the sense that why do you want to participate in that clutter? You don't want to participate in that clutter. So don't participate in that clutter. Find some other, like you can literally get an ad placement wherever you want one, anywhere. Inside, indoors or outdoors, or in the home or out of, like wherever you want to get an ad, you can get one. So why participate in something hacky and full of clutter?
Yeah, good idea or good point. I think it's because they want money. It's just the idea of making money. They want, the more inventory they have, the more they can sell. So it's about maxing out. One of the radio stations in Winnipeg recently has changed to having a 2-minute limit. It's Alt 94.3. If you listen to Alt, you'll hear them say we're never less than 2 minutes away from the music, which is like a cheesy way of saying it, but that's like the way they say it, right? That's the way people know. You only have to listen to 2 minutes worth of ads, and I think that's a good thing. I think they should promote that. I think that should be a selling feature for their radio station, that they're gonna like minimize the ads to make the experience better for the listener, because it's really not a great. And my students, we're talking about radio right now in class, and my students are telling me they hate the experience of listening to those ads, like the 3.5 minutes of ads that you get on traditional radio. They are not having it, and I don't know that anybody else is either. Like almost everybody I talk to says they will tune away, and that's the media habit we get into when we hear ads on the radio. As soon as it comes up, we tune away. Which, I mean, you get a little bit of that first ad and maybe some other ads, but that doesn't really give value to the stuff in the middle, and that's kind of what we're talking about here with this Netflix stuff.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna walk away from the thing. I can't remember where I was going. Oh yes, I wanted to kind of tie it in. We'll get to Star Wars in a second, but the we had a guest speaker yesterday. I'm not going to get into what happened at the talk, but one of them was talking about something I want to look at, which is using AI to basically sim sub advertising in bars. So what you're talking about with movie theaters is happening in restaurants and bars and other places where people meet publicly. It's about monetizing your facility, monetizing your location, your physical location. So they're basically looking to sub out the ads during football games and hockey games and all the big sporting events that they show in these places, right? Lots of people go and gather to eat and drink and stuff and have fun with their friends while the game's on. But now they're going to sub out those ads and play. So it's going to go from, it's going to be kind of like the Canadian Super Bowl. It's going to go from like super high end, like broadcast quality football to like a PowerPoint presentation, basically, of like, here's our specials, here's what's going on. That's what's going to happen now. We're going to see this in restaurants, and that's not a good experience either. That's a horrible experience, right? I would just rather that you leave the ads, because like for the Super Bowl, for football, a lot of money and effort is being put into these ads, so they're usually pretty good if you're watching sports, right? Generally speaking, I don't mind watching ads during sports. I don't.
Well, the Super Bowl in particular, because those are big budget, events.
We haven't watched sports in a while. We're going to talk about Super Bowl ads next week because that's when the ads are coming. Let's get into some Star Wars news. Sorry.
This could be there is a tie in there with what we hope we see in those Super Bowl ads.
Well, here's what I'll say. I did not watch it last night as I was hoping to, but I am planning to rewatch the first Star Wars film as part of my 50 years of movies. I'm going to watch a movie every year for my entire life because I turned 50 this year. And for my year of 1977, I'm going to watch Star Wars. I'm going to watch it on Disney Plus with ads. So I'll let you know how that experience is.
Terrible is how that experience is.
Although I do have it on DVD. I could also watch it on DVD. Anyway, okay. So this is the article we're kind of talking about today. It's from The Guardian, which tells me this isn't a paywall. It's like this thing pops up. This is not a paywall. So they're all you're working against. That's another topic for another day. The Guardian article says this isn't the film you're looking for. The Star Wars franchise is hamstrung by a massive identity crisis by Ben Child. I will link to it in the comments. I sent you this, Kenton, and it's kind of like, honestly, it's kind of like what we were talking about a few months ago when we were talking about all these properties that are all in the mix that don't seem to be happening. It talks about like this big long stretch of time that we've had now. It's been like 7 years since when did the last one come out? Yeah, 2019 was the last one came out.
Was it?
I believe so. The Rise of Skywalker is 20. That's the last time the last movie came out, right?
Yeah, that was 2019.
I believe so. Yeah.
Boy, that's and that was the last one. That's hard to believe.
Look at this. Look at this.
Lando, you did it! You did it!
Hit those underbelly cannons. Everyone we knock out is a world saved. Nice flying, Lando.
I mean, this article touches on a lot. It touches on the Taika Waititi thing that apparently he's still working on. He's trying to capture the I guess energy of the original trilogy in something. And then it talks about the Simon Kinberg trilogy, and it talks about the Rey movie, which is interesting.
Ooh. Well, I think at this point it's pretty clear that the Starfighter film is going to tie into the Rey film. I think that's what they're doing.
They're saying that she's not going to be in it though.
Oh yeah, she will. It's going to be like Luke in Force Awakens. Is Luke in the Force Awakens? Not really. Sort of.
He does a toss. He does a lightsaber toss at the end.
That's the next one. He doesn't toss it at the end of the Force Awakens. He tosses it at the beginning of.
No, he's not in the first one, right?
He turns around.
Oh yeah,
and we all go, Luke, finally it's Luke. The end. Dave, right? So, is he in the film? Well, not yes, no. Okay, I believe that Rey will be in the film like that. Like it'll be implied, like at the end of Skeleton Crew where you see the rebel blockade runner, them shooting in and into whatever their town was called, their planet. I can't remember what it's called now.
No.
El Caban. No, El something. Anyway, whatever it's called. So you see it, and in your mind, you're like, that could be Princess Leia. That now General Leia, that could be her. But you don't see who's actually in there. And I think it's gotta be, we've got a kid, we've got his stepdad or whoever Ryan Gosling is playing. And he's got to, and the kid is force sensitive, and they got to get the kid to where they're training Jedi. I think that's got to be the story. We know there's lightsabers in the film because Tom Cruise, it's been publicized, he was on set and they let him, Tom Cruise himself, direct a lightsaber duel of some kind. So it's got to be, so we know Jedi Knights are in it. It's got to be the kid's force sensitive. That's where we're taking him, and the shenanigans along the way. So maybe Rey's not in the film. Maybe the implication is that she is.
Where does this starfighter take place in the timeline? Is it after the Force Awakens stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because the one with Daisy Ridley, or the new Rey movie, is supposed to take place 15 years after Rise of Skywalker. So this could be leading into that. I'm not thrilled by the grown man with the kid trope again. I've had a lot of that lately, and I'm kind of wishing they would try something else. But I don't know. Maybe they were too late. It's too late. We didn't realize it was a trope. Now it is.
Yeah, I know.
And Star Wars itself, and Star Wars helped make that happen with Mandalorian, right? But it's still, please, let's look at some different looking stories here and make it not about. But again, they're trying to make this appealing. This is what this article is about. They're kind of paralyzed. They're not releasing anything because they're unsure of so much because of the backlash. Because they're afraid every time they put something out, there's always a group of Star Wars fans that will like, no, we don't like this, and they get angry. So then Lucasfilm goes, oh no, oh I didn't mean it. Wait, we'll try something else. Hold on. How about the Acolyte? No.
Oh my God.
They're throwing stuff at the wall, and when it doesn't stick, people get mad. People get mad because it's not good Star Wars, and that's just the way it is. It happens when you create stuff. Not all of it is going to be good.
But as we said in our last podcast about Star Wars, the planning. Planning's good.
Right. Yes, that was the issue, right? Is the plan?
Yeah.
So like
almost solely that because the casting wasn't bad. I mean, that I can't point to anything else other than 2 different directors doing 3 movies. The Ryan Gosling sandwich, or it's JJ's the bun, and Ryan. No, not Ryan Gosling. What's his name? Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson. Oh yes, okay. I get
yeah,
you,
sorry,
right.
Ryan Johnson sandwich. Yeah, pardon me.
Oh,
so many.
A weird image in my head with that Ryan Gosling comment.
There are so many Ryans in show business that it's just what are you gonna do?
So they say this in this article that there are no legacy characters in Star Wars Starfighter. So, but that, I mean, I wouldn't even call Rey a legacy character. Honestly, she's not. She's a legacy character or anything from the original trilogy, which makes sense at this point because they're all dead.
Yeah,
they kill them all in the fucking sequel movie.
Well, I've got good news for you, Dan. Chewie can die in this one. Chewie, they forgot to kill Chewie, so they're going to need to kill Chewie. We already know BB-8 should just explode like a bomb, and R2-D2 and C-3PO. We need to do something. We need to kill them too, and then whatever the next trilogy is.
I'm surprised they didn't. Honestly, seems like a missed opportunity because that seemed to be what they wanted to do. It was about killing. It was like Kylo Ren said, we have to leave the past. What do you say? I don't remember the line.
Yeah.
right? That's what that movie's all about, and that's what they're trying to do with that series, and nobody wanted it. Everyone's like, no, we love our original Star Wars. Please keep making these Star Wars movies, and they have not done that.
There's still lots of characters for them to kill. Don't worry. We'll still enjoy many deaths of characters who we used to love and enjoy.
Yeah. Now I think that part of this is that people are clamoring for more Star Wars. That they're upset that there's not more Star Wars out right now, and this is the part of this thing is complaining about that. But I think that's a good thing, because when they start doing more Star Wars, that's when it gets crappy. That's what happens to Marvel. People got sick of it. People got sick of Marvel. They got sick of superheroes, and nobody wants to watch that kind of stuff anymore. That will happen if we don't like pull back and really think about what we want to make and really like do this. Like that's how they got the Mandalorian, right? Is they got like Jon Favreau had this idea, and he got all the right people involved, and he put it together. And that's fine, but let them take time with it, right? Let them take their time and work it out. And so I think that's, I don't know how the Starfighter thing has been working on, but like I want to see more stuff like that. I hope that they will do that.
If something is successful, then we will get more of it, as the Mandalorian showed.
If it's original, it will be successful. What has been proven by Mandalorian and Andor and all this good stuff is that if they go, like they take stuff that's quintessentially Star Wars, there's elements of it that we want there to be. Even then they can leave behind like lightsabers. Like Andor had no lightsabers and nobody cared, right? That stuff, you can leave stuff behind, but you create a compelling story in an interesting Star Wars world, and people will love it. They'll absolutely love it. They will respond to it. And they're just afraid, though. They're afraid because it's hard for people to tell. I think really people do live in bubbles now. So they like live in their own little world of like executives. The studio, like I didn't love the studio on Apple TV, but it is probably accurate as far as like how it shows how much these people are idiots. But it's very funny at times. But that's why I think they don't understand, and they're doing their focus groups, and they're not really like looking at this from with objective eyes, because they have no objectivity, because this is their product, right? And so the fans can look, and the fans aren't being objective either, because they're comparing it to what came before, and this never gonna get that good again. It's never going to be that good. Like that was just a beautiful, magical time in movies, and that was it. And we can love those films for the rest of our lives, but we're never going to get anything the quality of those original films.
You know, there has, well, I mean, when you look at Andor, I think Andor is like top quality Star Wars. I really think it is. Like that, to me, that's the one you look at and you go, okay, look, I didn't think I could be this excited about Star Wars anymore. But then you watch that and you're like, oh my God, like there's so much to cover in this universe. There's so many interesting stories you can tell, you know, and I'm happy. Like there's no way, I don't think we'd ever get Andor again the same way that we got it. Yeah. But I do think Tony Gilroy will return to Star Wars at some point to do something. I think he has to, because he did such a great job on Andor. And I hope, and I don't think he would ever tie himself to something that's crappy. So like, I don't think we're going to see Tony Gilroy's new series, Young Andor, the story, the little baby, that little tyke.
Oh no.
He's 2 years old and he's just,
just wait. We're going to have they'll do a children's show based on that droid, that adorable droid from Andor. What's his name again? I don't remember. And they'll do something like that. I think they're kind of, again, they're trying all kinds of stuff, and I don't know about any of the kids stuff. They had by the way, there was a new Maul trailer. Have you seen that?
I did watch it. Yeah.
What did you think?
You know, you and I aren't the biggest animation fans when it comes to Star Wars, right?
Times have changed. I will show you the galaxy for what it truly is. See things from a new perspective.
Is this what our future holds? Always running.
I invite you to look more closely.
What are we dealing with?
Good question. And I offer you an opportunity.
Maul.
all been made to suffer. We survive, but do not live. The Emperor wants you dead. Chains can be broken.
Hang on!
And empires can be shattered.
I watched it and I went, okay, all right. Yep, that animation looks pretty good. All right. Oh yeah, that's his voice. Okay, yeah, all right. So I'm just never as excited about some animation thing than I am about the next live action. It just isn't as thrilling to me. But did you watch it?
No, I'm gonna watch it after, but I just want to say I want to cut that part of you just now going, yeah, all right, okay, yeah, that whole thing. I want to cut that and then make it, those memes people put over top of things,
Yeah.
like the one where it goes, "Are you sure about that?" Like that thing. I think that would be very good. One of those. Anyway, that's weird. No,
Okay. It's a show. It's a show.
Boys, yeah.
That's him. There's a show about it. When's it on? Don't know. When's it?
No, because again, you said we're not that big and into the animation stuff, and it's not as exciting as the real life stuff. So I mean, again, I'm probably not going to watch it again. I'm actually strongly thinking about getting rid of my Disney Plus for a while because there's nothing really on there to keep me there. The Bob's Burgers that my kids will watch, and that's pretty much it. So I might just take a break for a while.
I am pretty close to saying the same thing, except did you watch the season 1 of Paralysis?
No, but that I saw a trailer for it and it looks good.
I watched season 1, and I think it's fair to say, no spoilers, you watch episode 1, like you got to see the ending though. You got to watch the whole episode 1.
Right.
And I think you're in. Like you're like, what is this? So it's a classic what is this show? And the shows are best in their first season. The what is this show are always best in the first season because you don't have a clue what it's actually about and where it's going. So I think I would recommend, I think you'll get a kick out of that show.
I looked good. I didn't realize it's hard to tell what these shows are based on the art.
Yeah.
Is the lowdown. I had no idea what that show is because it's just a bunch of heads.
Yes.
It's a bunch of heads showing, it's that guy from that show that I like. Okay. But I'm not gonna watch the show just because there's an actor I like in it, because there are a lot of actors I like. Like I'm not gonna what's his name again? I don't remember his name.
Ethan Hawke.
No, not Ethan Hawke. In the other show you're just talking about. The guy from This Is Us.
Yeah.
That's in it. America, I don't know his name, but he's a very good actor. Everything I see is
by the way, there's a bunch of known actors in that. And of course, I can't think of a single one of them right now, but there's a bunch of known actors in that show. Oh, of course, oh my God. This is ridiculous that I can't think of the actors' names, but anyway.
Kenton, I'm sorry, I'm gonna give you some sad news here. I don't know if you've heard that Catherine O'Hara has passed away.
What?
Yeah, my heart texted me.
I saw a text coming in here.
Oh, is that people texting you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a classic Tex Kenton moment.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That happen a lot to you when celebrities die?
So SCTV.
Okay. Yeah.
From the all-time.
Yeah.
Oh,
anything people know that you're a fan of, they will say, yeah, that's fair. That's so sad. We'll have to talk oh man. I don't know. I don't want to talk about her on the podcast necessarily because that's seems Rob Ryan, that was pretty bad.
Well, I don't know. We don't know the circumstances of this at this point. Just
That's
that she has. Oh my God.
I'll derail the podcast. Sorry.
No, you could leave it in actually.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. What does it say here? It says January 30th in Los Angeles. Jeez. 71 years old. Oh, don't you love the it does not tell us the reason. This is the world we're in, where we get a little square that says need to know. And it has the highlights of the article, so I don't have to write it. It says Catherine O'Hara has died at 71. People can confirm. A comedy icon, O'Hara was known for roles in films like Beetlejuice, Home Alone, and Christopher Guest mockumentaries like Best in Show. Come on. You don't even mention SCTV in this. And she's survived by her husband and children, and that's all they have.
What in heaven's name?
Well, she was in that. She is one of the ones from the studio. I just saw her in the studio. She's very good. Like, she's great in those improvisational shows. She's so good because she's a fantastic improvisational comedian, right?
Hang on. Somebody else is about to tell me.
Okay.
I know. Dan and I just got the information and we are talking about it on our podcast. No, it has to be said.
Yeah, this is good. Let's talk about it right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, and by the way, Catherine O'Hara's sister is a Canadian musician named Mary Margaret O'Hara. And she has got like, is her album called Miss America? I think like she has a groundbreaking album and a great Canadian singer in her own right. Toured sparingly, but is known for her beautiful voice. I think most people don't know that those O'Hara sisters were related at all. And I also have to note that that's not what I'm seeing in the obituary. I'm not like, we don't have much information, but once again, like Mary Margaret's a famous artist in her own right. So yeah, I know, but this is horrible. And I guess, I don't know, I guess we'll find out what happened, but you only hope it's not, it's not something like with Rob Reiner, for instance, like, yeah, like
happened, right? You'd think that now, but no, I mean, I'm just gonna assume for now that it was something health related. She was like, for me, I think it was SCT was the first thing I saw her on. And I remember when she became more famous and she was in bigger movies like Home Alone, I thought, oh, that's Catherine. Like, I loved having that feeling of like, this is somebody that I grew up with, and getting bigger recognition. And I would feel like that every time I saw an SCTV person. John Candy, I got that with for sure. Eugene Levy, Rick Moranis, of course, and all those guys. Like, they're all amazing. It's just such a special group. We visited the we visited the Second City in Chicago one year when we went there, and they had like a lovely cast photo of that group of the SCTV cast there, because they were all kind of so connected to the Second City in Toronto, rather, not in Chicago, but it was still the same organization, right? So very, very cool stuff. I'm very sad to hear of her passing, and I'll probably have to watch something tonight to remember her with.
Yeah, I've got some SCTV box sets.
Oh, I have a DVD actually.
That was at the like when they put them on NBC, they called it Network 90.
Yes.
And yes, you got some of those. Those are fantastic. Those because they're 90 minutes long. I don't know. I can't remember if there's bonus footage.
Sorry, I'm not. One sec.
Yeah.
Under S for SCTV. Would it be under S? Oh, I can't find it. Damn it. Oh, so I've got a mess over here. Sorry. No, it was that Network 90 thing. It was weird because they had the first. What happened with the first season of SCTV? Do you remember? Do you know what happened there?
The very first season?
It was weird. The first one was very small, and they shot it in one place, and then they got picked up, and then it was bigger after they got I don't know, HBO or something.
No, actually, they were in Toronto to start with. They were going to be canceled, and then so they had to cut costs. So then they went to Edmonton.
Right. Yes.
And so they were like shooting they were basically and once again, Canadian famous, as I like to say, it's one step away from witness relocation program. So off they went to Edmonton, where nobody would ever find them. And actually, I used to work with a guy, last name Blanchard, and he's like, "Hey, do you guys like SCTV?" We're like, "We love SCTV." He's like, "Oh, my brother directed all of those." We're like, "What?" And we went, "You're kidding." And it's true. I think his brother's John Blanchard. Okay. And he appears in many SCTV skits and stuff as the director and stuff. And so that he was just full of like anecdotes and stuff about them shooting in Edmonton and whatnot. And like sometimes I think like, that old "where would I go if I could go anywhere in time?" Like, yeah, Edmonton's not that far from here. Why didn't I just get in a car? I was probably too young. But
you don't know though. You don't know what's going on. It's really cool things happening around you, and you're like, wow.
Like I think that would be a classic. Like, could you imagine? It would have been easy to talk to them and everything else, and at that moment, all together at the same time, and they probably had nothing to do. So,
Yeah.
other than shoot that show.
Yeah. I see here, I'm just looking at her IMDb, and it says her last film appearance was in the documentary, the John Candy documentary, which I saw. That was pretty good. I like that.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see if there's any more. Just checking a few sources here just to see if there's like everybody's posting this, like everybody, even like even some political accounts and stuff, just because she's so.
I tell you this, I had this moment of realization when Bob Saget died. And this is right around the same time that I was just starting to get a following on TikTok, and I was really like feeling that like chasing that virality kind of thing. I was getting those doing those bin videos, and people were I was getting lots of views on that. So he dies, and I'm like, oh my God, Bob Saget dies. I have to post about this. And my girlfriend's like, you have to post about him on the day he died? And I'm like, I guess I don't really need to post about him, right? Like nobody cares what I think of Bob Saget at this point. It was just this weird moment. Like, it felt like I was going to post just to get the views, and I didn't want to do that. If I'm going to post something, it's because I really like feel something about this person, and I'm really going to miss their work. I'm going to miss seeing them on screen, but I don't want to post just to jump on the bandwagon of where everybody's going to, because that's what I saw happen with Rob Reiner. And that's why I didn't want to talk about him on the podcast, is because I saw everybody going on about Rob Reiner, just because my whole feed was full of that stuff. And this is just like, just want to say, I'm sorry that she's gone.
Yeah, it's too bad. But I actually think there is a time when you talk about it, and that like sometimes I think about, I've been surprised by many celebrities' deaths. And even when I was a kid, I remember I was watching TV, Little Rascals I was watching, and on the TV they said Elvis Presley has died. And I knew, like, at that point I was a kid, and I knew who Elvis was. I couldn't tell you any of his songs. And I remember knowing it was big enough news that I ran like to tell my parents or whatever, like Elvis is died, like the classic, nobody believes you kind of moment. And so I remember like being, or John Lennon, I remember being aware of, and I was just into the Beatles at that point, and it was like such a shock. But every once in a while, like I think of some older people among us, like Paul McCartney, the surviving members of The Who, so 2 of them, and like some of my favorite musicians and artists of all time. And I always think like you can think about what will that day be like, but it does, like, and at a certain point, they're not gonna, they're old, okay, at this point, so you know that the inevitable will happen. But I always thought, like, if you feel that strongly about an artist, and about like everybody in their lives has maybe one artist or like a favorite actor or something like that, then I think it's appropriate to share those thoughts. And if you saw them in concert, for instance, or if you,
that's always good. The people who want to share with that person,
because it's meaningful to you.
Yeah, if a song has meaning, or if something, that like, and I'm sure there's gonna be lots of people posting about that with Catherine O'Hara, just because Schitt's Creek alone reached, like, I love we should talk about this in the podcast sometime, the Canadian TV renaissance that we're kind of experiencing right now. With like not Shoresy, I don't like that one as much. Heated Rivalry and all these other shows. And Schitt's Creek a couple of years ago, I did the same thing, right, where it blew up internationally. People loved it. So she's great in the studio. Like the studio annoys me because it's so award baity. It's like, we're gonna make a TV show about Hollywood to make fun of Hollywood because Hollywood's gonna love it, and it's just so self-serving, and it just drives me nuts. But her performance is great, her character is great, she's hilarious as always. So if you want to see her do something recently, The Studio is on Apple TV.
And those SCTV DVDs, if you can find them there, you can probably find them in many used DVD store. I'll bet you.
I found it. I was disappointed because it was only like short. I think it's only one episode of those 90, whatever that was. That's it. And it's like, so 90 minutes, I guess. And it's like, I was hoping it would be like a season on DVD. I didn't realize until I got home that was just thing. No, I don't have it. I don't know where it is. Damn it. I'm gonna have to find it and watch it. Anyway. All right.
Wow, what a podcast.
That's interesting, eh?
What a podcast.
Completely shifted gears.
What's that?
So we completely shifted gears in the middle of the podcast.
And we didn't even mention the odds of a Mandalorian trailer being in the Super Bowl.
We'll talk
That
about-
was our original topic.
That's you know what that's a go. That's a given. Like we're gonna see it.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have.
I think-
It'd be funny if they had stormtroopers walk out on the field again or something.
You know what? I looked at that picture today and it looks like ice going into Minneapolis is what it looks like. It looks bad. And by the way, there's fireworks and an American flag behind them. I actually posted it because I was like, oh, the Super Bowl. That's quite a tribute to Lady Liberty there that we're seeing. It has not aged well, Dan, if you want to see that photo.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Right, let's wrap it up. That's going to do it for this episode of the Star Wars Nerds. I'm Dan Vedabunker.
I'm Kenton Larson. Don't let the Force or the door hit you on the ass.
This had better work.
I don't know. I can imagine quite a bit. We're all fine here now, thank you. How are you?
Going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
TK421, do you copy?